All right. Well, good evening. Once again, this is David Imonitie here. Just super excited to be on this call with each and every one of you. Heard people chiming in from all around the country and even different parts of the world. Before we actually delve into tonight, just want to say definitely extremely grateful, and obviously feel very privileged that you spent the last 3 nights here with us. Getting what I believe is transformational, life-changing information. And a lot of times people don't really see the value in information or see the value in personal growth. But obviously you're the type of person that sees the value in it and really understands that this is a very integral part to your growth in your own personal life, and in turn will allow you to succeed in some of the other areas of your life that obviously are main concern for a lot of people in today's society. So I definitely want to congratulate you, want to celebrate you as well for being on this call and being consistent over the last 3 days that we've been sharing on goal setting here with you guys. I look back and look at all the successes that we've been able to have, and more importantly, where it is that we're going right now. And I'm just filled with so much joy and so much excitement and enthusiasm for what's to come. I know what this feeling is like when you start something new, and you don't necessarily have to know how everything is going to work out. You just have this this feeling on the inside of you. And it's at the pit of your stomach where you just know this is going to be big. This is going to be major. So definitely excited that you've decided to come on this journey with me. And I know that it's going to be a huge benefit to you. And you're going to be able to pay this forward to millions and millions of people all around the world. Over the last couple of days, we talked about goal setting, and obviously day one we started really talking about really identifying really what a goal was, and for you to really be able to differentiate the difference between a goal and a wish or a desire versus a should. And I believe that after that very first call, a lot of people were enlightened to and really made aware of really what it takes for something to even be called a goal. Knowing that now I need the energy, I've got to have the ambition, I've got to have the effort, I've got to have the enthusiasm, the excitement, I've got to labor. All those things were made clear to us on our very first call, and you obviously took notice of that and went out and really made some quality decisions to set the goal. And now put the effort behind it and put the ambition behind it, put the energy behind it. And then the second day, we actually went through step by step, really how to set the goals, the 6 steps of setting goals, and how important it was for you to write your goal down, how important it is for you to have a date of completion and list the obstacles that are going to try and stop you from accomplishing your goals, and identifying the right people, who your coach or your mentor is going to be, and who are the people you're going to work with to help them accomplish their goals. So in turn, you accomplish your goals. And then obviously we talked about having that plan of action. And I can tell you this, that plan of action is so critical to your success. And that's where having that coach, when it comes to whatever field of business that you're in, is going to be so critical for you to really get connected with someone who's done what it is that you want to do, so they can give you the blueprint and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And then obviously what's in it for you. And I hope that last night you even took the initiative of writing down some things that you want for yourself, some things that you want to be able to do for your family, because at the end of the day, that's really what's going to drive you to really go out here and get this thing done. I've been looking forward to tonight's call all day. Because what I've done, ladies and gentlemen, over the years is, yes, I've listened to a lot of information. Yes, I've been to the seminars. But one of the things that I really proud of myself on, and still do today, was not just hearing the information, but immediately applying it to my life. Because I wanted to know that this stuff worked. You know, all the books and all the tapes and all the seminars, I wanted to know that this stuff worked. So every time that I had a chance to maybe listen to a conference call or read a book or listen to an audio or attend a live event, a live training, or maybe take a course online, I wanted to make sure that this information that I was getting actually worked, because I believe for you to go out and start teaching people what it is that you have experienced, it's important for you to know that this works without a shadow of a doubt, and I know this for a fact. So I've been excited all day today about tonight's call, because this is really the climax of really how you know that your goal is completely done. There is a way. I mean, think about it. What if there was a way for you to know that what you wrote down at the top of your pyramid, what if there was a way for you to know that it was coming? And not just from a faith standpoint, not just, speaking it just to believe it, but you knew, just like you knew your name. What if there was a way for you to actually know that this goal and this dream or this desire that's maybe kept you up at night and maybe moved you to tears, what if there was a way for you to know that it was actually going to happen? And guys, there is a way, because, our Creator, He said it. He said, I will give you the desires of your heart. I will give you the desires of your heart. This is something that is ours. It's yours. It is already given to you. It's a promise. And what's amazing about that is a lot of times we forget what that promise is. We forget that the goal that you've written down and the desires that you have, the moment that you open your mouth to say it, and you say it the way that we talked about last night, and you say it in present tense, and you say, I, David Imonitie, the moment you do that, that's when it's already taken place. That's when it already happens. And man, it's just been amazing to me to really revisit this and now be in a position where we can actually share this information with other people and for them to start to see that this actually does work. The goal, the desires that you have is already yours. And there is a way for you to know that it's already taking place. So for tonight's call, I really want you to write this down. It's a question, and we're going to give you the answer tonight. How do I know that the goal is really done? How do I know that the goal is really done? We learned that having a goal requires you to be focused. Your focus has to be focused, right? It has to be focused on that goal. It has to be focused on that desire. And you're going to see why I'm saying this, why this is so critical. And tonight's call, guys, I'm not going to speak from a training standpoint. I'm really going to speak from a sit down. We're having a conversation, and I'm right there in front of you right now, and we're having this conversation about your goals. We're having this dialogue about the things that you've written down on your piece of paper, the emails that you've sent me, the comments that you've made. We're having a conversation about that very thing. And what you're going to come away with tonight it's going to truly amaze you. But one of the things I want you to also understand is that there are certain elements to focus. When someone says you got to be focused on your goals, well, what does that really mean? I don't want to gloss over or just glance over things that we may think are trivial, but they're so very, very vital to the success. So when I sit down with you and I say tonight, hey, listen, you got to focus on your goals. Let me share with you what that means. That really means you've got to see your goal. You've got to see it. Seeing is a part of being focused. Whatever it is that I'm seeing, that's truly what I'm focused on. All right, so what am I seeing? Also, what are you saying? What are you seeing? What am I saying? What I'm saying is really also going to determine what my focus is. All right? And then also, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Because tonight we're going to talk about the law of attraction. I'm not going to go so in depth in what the law of attraction is, but I'm going to take what, to me, the most important part of the law of attraction. I'm going to take a particular part of it that I believe if this did not exist, the law of attraction could not work for you and I. That's the part that we're going to talk about, because the law of attraction, guys, you could literally have a conversation about the law of attraction for days. But there's a part of the law of attraction that really makes all the difference. See, when the Creator says, hey, listen, I'm going to give you the desires of your heart, I don't believe that he would say that and then not equip you with the elements, the factors that you need to actually have the desires of your heart. I want you to think about that. I don't think that he would say, okay, I'm going to give this to you, but then not give you the things that are necessary, or already equip you with the things that are necessary for you to actually accomplish what it is that you say that you desire. That would be very, that would be very, what's the word? That would be very, inconsiderate on his part, right? To say, hey, I'm going to give you something and then not equip you with the elements of the things that you need. And the elements really start with the land of the mind. Okay? The land of the mind. Your mind, it's a land. It's a landmine. And what you have to understand, in any land that you go to today, there are laws that operate within that land. So there's the land of the mind, but there are also the laws of the mind. And you've got to know that your mind needs two things. Your mind needs a focus, and your mind needs a hero. Your mind needs a focus, and your mind needs a hero. Time and time again, over and over and over again, when you meet people that do extraordinary things, they will always tell you that they were focused. And they will always tell you that there was someone else in their life that sparked that flame. They will always tell you that. I said it last night. No one person is an island. There's going to be one person that comes into your life that sparks that flame, that hero that comes into your life. And it's one of the greatest gifts that you'll ever have. Your mind needs both those things. Your mind needs a focus, and it needs a hero. And I want you to really think about that. Ask yourself, what have I been focused on, and who is my hero? Okay? And who is my hero? Tonight, we're going to really delve into the mind, because the mind is everything that you need. I started this call a couple of days ago talking about you. You're going to be the number one reason why you become successful. There are other elements that will come into play, but from a natural sense, you will play the biggest role. And I want you to understand that your mind has two parts. Your mind has a conscious mind. And I want to spell this for you. All right. Conscience is C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S. Your mind has two parts. One part, conscious mind. This is where your five senses are working. All right. Your five senses are working. Your sense of taste, your sight, your feelings, your five senses, what you see, what you hear. Okay? Your conscious mind is one part. The second part is your subconscious. So same spelling, just put a sub in front of it. All right? Now, I'm not telling anything maybe you've never heard before, right? Conscious mind, subconscious mind. But maybe you don't know that your conscious mind can actually handle or filter 40 bits of data per second. Because what you have to understand is there's so many things that are happening all around you every single day. Because whatever it is that you need for you to become successful is already around you. The person you need to talk to is already around you. Everything is already there. The place that you need to go is already there. The phone call that you need to make is already available. Your conscious mind can filter 40 bits of data per second. Your subconscious mind, on the other hand, can actually filter 40 million bits of data per second. Your subconscious mind operates at a completely different level from your conscious mind. Completely different level. And the biggest part that I want you to take away from the call tonight is conditioning. You have got to condition your mind to attract the goal that you wrote down. Conditioning takes time. But just because it takes time doesn't mean that you don't have progress during that time. You're going to have to operate with the information that you're getting, or any information that you ever get. You're going to have to operate from a place of peace. There has to be a peace about that goal. Because if there's no peace, that means you're worried. That means that you're focused on the wrong thing. That means you're seeing the wrong thing. That means you're saying the wrong thing. Therefore, you're feeling the wrong thing, which is worry. So peace must be present. After tonight's call, when you really get this, there will be a peace that comes over you. You're going to have to be patient. Patient with the process. Patient with the process. When you plant that seed into the ground, it is dead to the world. But now a harvest comes out in due season. Everything that you want, once you plant this information into what it is that you want, it will produce a harvest in due season. The two things that you've got to condition. You have to condition for you to accomplish your goal. And we started with the goal of $10,000 a month, right? The goal could be a car. The goal can be a home, whatever it is. Okay? Whatever it is, you're going to have to condition yourself two ways. Number one, you're going to have to condition yourself to create a new comfort zone. I want you to write this down. I want you to raise your standards. Raising your standards is going to be vital to you accomplishing that goal. You have got to get yourself to the point where you will only be comfortable when you actually hit that goal. Your comfort zone is something that has been given to you, and what it does is it gives you a sense of security. It gives you a sense of safety. You're already equipped with it. The car that you're driving right now, you have a comfort zone with it. That's why you drive it. The home that you live in right now, you have a comfort zone with it. That's why you live in that home. Where you go to dinner, where you feel is acceptable to go to dinner, is your comfort zone. The clothes that you wear is your comfort zone. You're comfortable. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to raise that standard. You're going to have to raise that comfort zone. Because your success, that $10,000 a month, that $100,000 a month, is above where you are. It is above where it is that you are. It's above your comfort zone. That's why you have to raise your comfort zone. Because when you go below that comfort zone, something will kick in and will say, I don't belong here. The home that you live in right now, if it's a 3-bedroom home, if for whatever reason you find yourself in a 1-bedroom home, you're going to feel very uncomfortable there because it's below your comfort zone. You're in a 3-bedroom home right now. If you found yourself in a 10-bedroom home, guess what? You may feel very uncomfortable there. Why? Because it's above your comfort zone. But that's the only way that you're going to raise it. Now, let me give you some tips on how to raise your comfort zone. You're going to have to start experiencing the goal before you get there. You're going to have to experience the goal before you actually get there. So if it's a car that you want, you're going to have to experience that car before you can actually buy the car. But here's what most people do. Most people say, well, I can't afford the car, so why bother experiencing it? Don't do that. Go and test drive the car. Experience it, because what it's going to do, it's going to create a new comfort zone for you. So now when you come back to where it is that you are, you will start to feel uncomfortable where you are, and you will say to yourself, I don't belong here, I belong up there. And now, because you were created to be comfortable, the right situations, the right people, the right events will now start to happen on its own. It won't be necessary anything that you do. It will happen on its own to help you get to what you feel comfortable with. The more times you do it, the repetition, guys, is a gift from God. There's nothing that we do on a repetitious basis that we don't become masters of. Nothing. It's proven time and time again. Time and time again. When you watch an athlete on TV and you're amazed, how do they do that? How do they shoot like that? How do they dribble like that? How do they pass the ball like that? How do they find the hole to get to the end zone? How does Messi do what he does on a soccer field? It's repetition. They just do it more than anybody else. So for you to create this new comfort zone, you're going to have to go the above on a repetitious basis. This is when you do this, you're going to start to see the goal happen much faster. Much faster. And what's so beautiful about this is that when the goal actually does take place, you won't be overwhelmed by it because you were already there. You were already living there. You were already living there. Comfort zone. Okay? The comfort zone. You're going to have to condition your comfort zone. Okay? The second element, which is a huge part of the law of attraction, I want you to write this down. You're going to have to condition your reticular activating system, your RAS. I remember years ago listening to a gentleman that will be a mentor of mine, Tony Robbins. I've been to several of his seminars. And he was talking about the reticular activating system. Guys, this had to be at least 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago. And I was like, wow. The reticular activating system, let me share with you what it is. Okay? Let me share with you exactly what it is. I'm going to share with you what it is and actually how does it work. The reticular activating system is a group of nerves at the base of your skull, of your brain. Isn't that interesting that it's at the base, that it's at the foundation? And your reticular activating system has a lot of different functions. but we're only going to hone in on one particular function here tonight. One of the functions that the reticular activating system has is that it filters information based on what is important to you. Let me rephrase that. The reticular activating system filters information based on what you have made important to you. It filters images. It filters words. Okay? It filters feeling. It filters information that is all around you. It filters information that you give it. It is at the base. It is at the foundation. Okay? It has the ability to filter the data that's all around you, utilizing the conscious part of your mind and the subconscious part of your mind. And I just showed you that the subconscious is way more powerful than the conscious. It's still your mind. You've now got to use it to benefit you and stop using it to hurt you. And how does it work? Well, have you ever wanted to buy a particular car? Let's just say black Mercedes. And maybe you got some, you went to the dealership and you got some catalogs on this black Mercedes. Maybe you test drove it, comfort zone. Have you noticed that all of a sudden you started to see black Mercedes all around the road? Is it that everybody now all of a sudden just went out and bought a black Mercedes? No. You have made black Mercedes more important to your reticular activating system. So now your reticular activating system says, I've got to pick up anything that has to do with black Mercedes. But if you said to yourself, black Mercedes, I can't afford it, $10,000 a month, I can't get there. Guess what? That's the information you're feeding your reticular activating system. So it will only give you information that solidifies that you can't have the Mercedes, you can't get the $10,000 a month, you can't find the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams. It will filter all of the information to prove that you're right. I'll give you another example. Have you been in a crowded room and you're having a conversation with someone and someone else says something about a song or a game that you watched last night? You're having a full-blown conversation with someone else and they mention, man, did you see, and this person's talking to someone else and they're talking about, Steph Curry had 50 points. And all of a sudden, you didn't hear all of the other noises that were going around in the crowded room, but you heard. Why? Because your reticular activating system says, hey, that's important. You watch the game. Maybe you've been walking through an airport and you know what's going on in the airport. There are multiple conversations taking place. There are announcements taking place. But all of a sudden you hear your name on the loudspeaker. Why is it that you heard your name? Well, because you've heard your name over and over and over and over again. Your reticular activating system picks up on it. So what you're going to have to do is understand that you are the boss. Your reticular activating system is your secretary. It is your secretary. That's how it really operates. And your secretary says, okay, I'm only going to allow what's really important to the boss. You have got to let the secretary know, this is what's important to me. This black Mercedes, this is what's important to me. This goal that I have, this is what's important to me. How do I make it important? I'm seeing it every day. I'm saying it every day. And I'm creating the emotions through my incantations. My incantations are very different from just affirmations. Affirmations is, I'm just saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, or, but there's no feeling behind it. There's no movement behind it. Your mind, your body, everything's got to be in tune with what it is that you're saying. That's what an incantation is, right? Maybe hitting yourself on your chest. I mean, and you're hearing this on the call, but when we do have live events, you're going to see firsthand what it is that we're talking about here. Okay? It's a declaration with passion. This is how you feed that reticular activating system. And this is how the law of attraction works. And it takes repetition with passion, with excitement, with enthusiasm. How do you give this information to your reticular activating system? Through visualization. So it's not just incantations, it's also, what am I visualizing? Holding an image or a picture, physical or mental, long enough until I have the emotional connection to that picture, to that image. How do I keep feeding this reticular? How do I condition my reticular activating system? How do I condition it for success? I've got to experience it. I've got to go dream building. I've got to have the right associations. I've got to surround myself with people that are above my comfort zone. And when I'm around them, I'm going to listen more. I'm going to listen more. All right? Dream shopping. Not window shopping, dream shopping. I can't tell you. For years, ladies and gentlemen, I would go to the Louis Vuitton store. I would go to the Gucci store. I could not buy a pen in those stores, but I would go there every day because I was in the Galleria every day. They knew who I was. They knew I never bought anything. But I would go in there and I would look around and dream shopping. One day, I made it important to my reticular activating system. So Louis Vuitton was everything. Because I made it important to me. It was a goal that one day I'll be able to go in there and buy whatever it is that I want. And years later, it happened. But if I never went there, if I never made it important to my reticular activating system, the opportunities, because this is how it now reveals itself. It reveals itself in opportunities. It reveals itself with situations. It reveals itself with people. All of a sudden, you're going to start getting text messages. You're going to start getting phone calls. This is what happened in my business. I started getting text messages from people that, I had talked to about what I was doing years ago. They would now call me because my mind was set towards the goal. And now everything that needed to happen for my desires to take place, it had to come. I am the boss. That's what you've got to say to yourself right now. You are the boss. The reticular activating system is your secretary. You've got to tell it what it is that you want through repetition, and it will go and bring it into your consciousness. And when you start to see it all around you, that's when you know it's coming. That's when you know that Gucci Fiat is coming, when you start to see it all around you. When you start to see it all around you. It works. It works every single time. Why do you want to make the $10,000 a month? You don't want to just make $10,000 a month just to make $10,000 or $100,000, whatever the number is. There's some things that you want to do with the $10,000. There's some things that you want to do with the $100,000. Is it a trip? Go get pictures of the place that you want to go. Put those pictures up all around you. Okay? Someone who's been there will show up in your life, and they'll have a conversation with you about that place. And guess what? All it's doing is just giving your reticular activating system more information, more information, more information. And the law of attraction goes to work for you to bring those things into your life. The right opportunities, the right businesses, the right decisions. Guys, we could talk about this all night. Okay. Your reticular activating, it's the radar. You got to condition it. You got to condition it. It will bring you the resources to help you accomplish your goal. It'll bring you the people to help you accomplish your goal. The law of recognition will work for you. The law of recognition is a part of the law of the mind. Because now when that right person comes along, when that right situation comes along, when that right business opportunity comes along, you'll recognize it. You will recognize it. I am the boss. Okay? I am the boss. That's your number one incantation. So, once again, appreciate all of you being on this call. I've had an incredible time. Hopefully you took some notes on what you heard here tonight.